Hey everybody, it's Mary Jo from MaryjoesCreations. Welcome back to my channel. It is Valentine's Day. It really is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to anyone and everyone. And if you don't have a Valentine's, well, I can be your Valentine. Today I am going to do a few more projects. So I gave myself a challenge, right? I wanted to see how many products, how many items I can crochet within 2 weeks, starting in February until Valentine's Day. Now, I was going to end this yesterday, but this sweater took me a little bit longer to make than I had expected. And, again, I was having a very bad headache, for a few days. So that also, I wasn't able to finish it as fast as I wanted to. I wanted to have a little more time, but it is what it is. So today, I wanted to see how many items I can get done. I don't know, whenever I feel like I don't want to crochet anymore, which, that might be a while. But I do have a bunch of finished products, items that I will show you at the end of the video. And I know you've seen some of them already, like the cardigan that I made. And I don't know if I showed you the headbands, but I have some headbands. And I made a few other little things, but right now what I'm working on, and I believe I said this in one of my last videos, that I wanted to make a tote bag, like a Valentine's Day ready pinky tote bag. So I wanted it to be a little more sturdy because I don't make bags out of acrylic, right? All my bags that I've ever made have been out of cotton. And I see people making bags out of acrylic all the time. And so most of them are granny square bags, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I got the idea because I don't know if you saw that video. I made a hat, a witch's hat for Halloween. And it held its shape. So what I used was 2 strands of acrylic yarn. One was the mainstay because it's a little more structured and it's like the texture is different. It's like kind of like a rope structure. And on that one, I think both of them were like that. But on this one, I didn't have a red from mainstay. So I was just using the Big Twist because it's the only red I had. So I don't have, now the pink seems to be lasting pretty long. The red is still a lot, but I don't know how much of it is going to, take to make it the height I want. So we're just going to be playing it by ear. And this is like, again, the first time I'm making it. I took the base apart quite a few times. To get it just the right way. And I don't know if I make it again, if I'm going to do the base like this again, I might do it a little bit different. It is very sturdy, but it was a little bit difficult to, because it does have like a few holes in the center, right? So what I did was I made a chain and then I went across the chain and then I did the little turn in here and went that way, right? So I don't know if I will be doing this again. Maybe next time I'll just make a straight panel, right? And the only reason I did it this way is because I didn't want on one side to have the, words escape me. What else is new, right? The initial chain, right? But I was thinking I can always, once I do that, do like a border of half double crochets around it, which is what I did with this one anyway, before I start curving it up. And the way I'm doing that, I know that a lot of people do it differently, and they usually go through just like the back loop. But for me, for some reason, I never like doing back loop only, because it does stretch a lot more. It doesn't feel secure to me for some reason. And I know it gives like certain things a stretchiness to it and a different look to it. I kind of like ribbing, I guess. But I don't know. For some reason, me personally, I don't like it. I don't feel that it's strong enough. So what I'm doing for this bag is, I'm going to show you right now. What I'm doing for this bag is, I'm going through 2 loops, but they're the 2 loops, and I would assume that that would be on the front. Hold on a second. The only thing I don't like about double stranding is that sometimes it's just so difficult to get them through, right? Okay, so you see how it's doing that little ridge there, right? And that's what I want. And I did, when I finished the base, I did a half double crochet around the bottom, right, to give it a little bit more sturdiness. And now what I'm doing is single crochets, and the way I'm getting that ridge is, I know that this is the top of the chain, right? Okay. And you have the, this would be the back loop for me, and the front loop is over here, right? Well, if you look at it this way, there's also a little V shape here on the bottom, right? Where the front loop and the front of the stitch are. Now, if I'm saying the terms wrong, I'm sorry. I can't even remember right now. There's probably a proper term for that, but, you know, it is what it is. So what I do is, instead of going into just the front loop only, because this is the inside of my bag, and I want the ridge to be on the, I want the bend to be on the outside. So what I'm doing is, instead of just going into the front loop, I'm going, let me see if you could see it. I know, I'm sorry. I need to get a better camera or figure out how to do this better. But for right now, I'll try and show you this way. So you see that little V that's in the front? I go through the bottom and the front loop, if that makes sense. And then I just bring it through and finish my single crochet. And the reason I'm doing single crochets is just because it's just easier. I wanted to do it in a half double, but it just wasn't coming out. It was too thick, too much yarn. It was hard to go over because of the double crochet, because of the double stranded. So what I decided to do was just to make that little, you know, to make the curve, to make the bend for the bag to go up, I would use a single crochet. And it does take longer. This is, I think, to me, the hardest part of the whole bag is going to be this. Now, what I'm going to do is, when I start building the body, I'm going to be doing it in a half double crochet. Because, again, it gives me that little bit of height. And if you know me, you know that the half double is really my favorite stitch when I want something solid, because it does give it that little bit of height, but it still makes it a solid stitch and not like the half doubles where it's open. I love the way my sweater came out, by the way. I do really wish that it was a little bit lower, because sometimes it does ride up a little bit, and I, again, can't stand having anything on my neck. But it does, it is much better. I love it. I think it looks so pretty. But let me know. Now, I do want to play around with, once I get, you know, the hang of it and the panels, and I want to do this one, my next style is going to be just a little bit different. Because I do want to incorporate different stitches. And, you know, so it doesn't look so plain, because it does have half doubles in it. But I don't know. I don't like yarn eating stitches, so I don't really do any of those fancy stitches, because simply because I don't even like to double strand sometimes. Like, the reason I double strand is because I want that sturdiness. But I don't really like to double strand projects unless it's for the sturdiness or the warmth, like the beanies or the hats that I make. Because I do, you know, want them to be a little bit warmer if I don't have like a 5 weight. But I really don't like to double strand or use yarn eating stitches, because I don't, you know, for me it's just a thing where, you know, I'm very limited with money, and, you know, I can't always buy yarn, and I was very lucky and blessed to have a friend of mine take me on a yarn shopping spree and bought me a ton of yarn, which is why I was able to make all these beautiful things for Valentine's Day. And, you know, I have so many more beautiful things that I want to make that are coming up. I am going to be doing some... All right, guys, I'm sorry about that. So I was working on it a little bit more. I got a phone call, and it is what it is. But I was working on it just a little bit longer, and if you see, this right here is what I want to show you. And then I will be working on this, and I will update you on my progress as I go. But I wanted to show you, because maybe you can see better right here. Like, you see where the stitch marker is? This is where I did my increase, right? I did 3 clusters in here. This is the middle one, right? So you see where the little V is. Hopefully it'll focus. Where the stitch marker is. Now, instead of going in there, what I do, if you see here, what I do, see, there's the stitch. What I do is take the stitch marker out and go from this stitch, which is red, to the front loop, if that makes sense to you, if I'm saying it the right way. So, dang it, I pulled it out. That's okay. So what I do is, and I'll show you, is I'll go through the loop on the bottom and the front loop from that V. So see, the back loop is right there. And then that's when I pull it through and do my single crochet. And I'm going to do just 2 more, and I'm going to show you, because now it's starting to really shape up and it looks so cool. And again, you can just do the back loop only, the front loop only, depending on where the inside is, right? So what I learned also is that you want to know which way to do it. The way that you do it depends on where your project is, right? Or at least in my experience. So this is the inside of my bag, right? That's going to be the inside of my bag. Because I am turning my work. I always turn my work. I don't like the way it looks when I go all the way around. The only time I will do that is if I'm making like a basket and then I'll go all the way around. But for anything else, I always go back and forth. I always turn my work. So if you see, look how nice the edge is coming up. You see, and it looks more secure and it feels more secure because it's grabbing those 2 stitches. And in this sense, it's grabbing 4 pieces of yarn instead of just 2 pieces of yarn. So going through the front loop, going through this V here that you see, that's what I'm going through. So I'm going through this V here, and that is doing that. And I'm going to keep working this up. This is the hardest part for me. You know, doing the shaping, doing the bottom. Now, again, what I think I'm going to do next time, I might do another one of these in like a regular color, like a neutral color, like maybe a brown or a beige or something like that, so that, you know, I have one that's, I'll go with everything. In that one, I will most likely do the bottom a little bit different, but I think this is coming out great. And once I start working it up, once I finish this off, I am going to weave these in a little bit. I'm not going to cut them out yet because it's just easier for me to visually see where the inside of the bag is. And you'll see why as I go up. But once I do this lip on it and I finish doing it, that's when I'm going to start the body of the bag, and that will be a lot faster. I'm just going to go up until I either get to where I want to go or I run out of yarn. Because this pink yarn, it's a lot. So I think I have enough to go up pretty high. I don't think I'm going to run out of this. And I love these skeins too because they are 397 yards. And again, where I don't really like making wearables in this acrylic, I do like using it for other things. And it does give it great structure. So when you double strand it, even though this loops in this big twist is a lot soft and squishier, it's still, I think it's gonna look amazing when it's done. And this right here is what I was talking about. I think I spoke about it in the last video. This is the yarn that I took apart. And I started making one of my fitted beanies. And I think this is going to be enough to do one fitted beanie. So this does take a toll on my hands. I'm going to work this up as much as I can. And when I feel that I need a break, I'm going to take my break. Because, you know, I take breaks. Usually I crochet for about an hour, hour and a half and take a break. If I take a break and I still, like, my hands are still a little, they hurt a little bit, I will put this aside and make this. Because I could do this in one sitting. In an hour and a half, I can get this done completely. So we're going to put this off to the side for right now. It was in my thing, that's why I picked it up, so sorry about that. But I'm going to go work on this bag. I'm going to finish this section right here. And I am going to take a little bit of break because I have to go to the store. But I will keep you posted on the progress. And I'm definitely going to weave these in as soon as I'm done and just leave the little bit so I know where it is. And I won't have to worry about it at the end except for just clipping it off. I still don't know how I'm going to do the straps. I do have 2 ideas right now. I think that I want, like, one idea is doing it like this one here. where it's just one strap around the sides and I can cross it over. Or, depending on how tall it is, I would like to do the straps like one strap on each side and make them, you know, what do you call that? Big enough where you can put it on, right? Like make them long enough, but, you know, not as long as that one. That, in those, I would actually sew onto the bag, like my other bag that I made with granny squares, and sew them this way onto the bag. I'm not sure yet. We will figure that out when we get there. And it, again, it all depends on, really, for me, it depends on the height of the bag, on what it's going to look like. So that depends on the yarn. Now, I do have another red skein if I need to tie it on. I actually have one that's partially used. That's it for now. I'm going to go work on this, and I will keep you updated as I go. Okay, guys, I just finished it. Look at that. Now, I did weave it in on, see, I couldn't even tell until I looked. I did weave it in over here, and I don't know if you can see better. It is more closed. Now, there is a little bit of bunching here, but it's going to be inside the bag at the bottom. No one's going to notice, right? This is what the bottom of the bag looks like from the outside. And I just left this little piece of pink here. Again, I know what the outside is because that's where the fold is going, right? So obviously this is the inside of the bag. But I just left the little piece of string here just so, you know, I don't have to really think about it and look. And I think that looks amazing. Now, again, it did take a little bit more work to, you know, weave, like, pull it closed and then weave that in closed, but I love the way this is looking. Now, I feel comfortable. I have the base done. Now it's all just building up the bag, and that's the easy part. Trust me. That's the easy part, and it shouldn't take too long because, again, it is half doubles. And it's 2 strands of yarn. So it shouldn't take that long to build up. And I believe it's going to give me the structure that I want. And if it does, then, you know, that opens up a whole bunch of possibilities for different kinds of bags that I didn't want to make with acrylic, because I didn't think it would be strong enough. But if we are using the right acrylic, which in my case would be the mainstay, and what was I going to say? I don't know. If we're using the right acrylic and we're double stranding it, I think that you're really going to notice it once it builds up. And I think it's going to look absolutely amazing as soon as it starts to build up. So I'm going to go work on this. And I'll see y'all in a little bit. I just wanted to show you. Isn't that so cool? Look at that. No more holes, dude. No more holes, dude. That looks amazing. Check it out. All right. I'll be back. Okay. So it's been a bit. I don't remember the last time the time it was when I filmed, but anyway, I've gotten 3 rows done, and I know it doesn't look like much, but I just finished, I believe it's my 3rd row from, after I did the bend, right? So to work it up. And so this is what it's looking like so far. Actually, this would make like a really cute tray. But it's gonna look a lot better once I work it up, right? Because the higher it goes, the more structure it'll get. But I think it's looking so cute. And actually, the hardest part is kind of done, because that's like the bottom, and doing this part is very hard on my hands. Now, the higher it gets, the easier it'll be to work. And that's what I'm hoping. I am going to take a little break, though, because my hands are hurting me. Again, I've been working on this for about, I don't know, like an hour. And my hands are really hurting. I just want to start the next row, so when I come back to it, you know, I know exactly which way I'm going, where I am. I could just pick it up and keep going. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Just a few stitches, so I know exactly where I start when I come back to it. Okay, guys, so I did take a little bit more of a break, but this is really killing my hands. So, I don't think I thought this all the way through. It was easier using both soft, like this is good for something sturdy, but it really does kill my hands. But anyway, this is how much I've gotten done so far. And it is taking me a little bit longer because it is a lot harder to work into the stitches and be tight about it. And I had to, I normally use this one now. I love these hooks, right? They have the grip. But because this is so tight, this kept sliding out. And it was also making me work a little bit slower. So I used to this one, which is also a 6mm. If you could see that. It's my regular 6mm hook. And this one is actually working a little bit better. Now, the reason why I wanted also to show you is that, yeah, this one does work a little bit better. I guess because, you know, my hands aren't sliding. That rubber piece isn't sliding down. So, and I've also noticed that the higher I go, the easier it is for me to hold on to it and work it up. But I just looked, and it's right now, if I had to guess, well, we don't have to guess, we can measure it. Actually, I'll measure it on this row because I already started the next round. So I'm going to take a little quick measurement here and try to flatten it out as much as possible. Now, it's measuring about 3.5 inches, right? Obviously, we want to go up to, you know, if that's 3.5, then what? Like 7 inches would, yeah. So we're thinking what? For it to be a tote, it would have to be at least 12 inches high, right? We're not getting that with this yarn. Now, even for a handbag, I think it would have to be at least 7, but I really wanted to use this as like my yarn bag, right? So what I was thinking was, this is the only pink I have left. I don't know if I should just keep going until the pink runs out, or if I should, right now, switch colors and do like a round of red and white, right? And then like kind of something like this. but switch the pink out for the white, because I do have white in Mainstay. So it would be the same exact yarn. And maybe see how that would look. Or if I should just keep going up and building it up until it goes no farther. And if it's not, you know, as tall as I want it to be, and I really do want it to be taller, then I can, unfortunately, frog it back and then do the white and alternate. But I kind of didn't want to do that. But this is kind of like a little bit, I don't know, do you think that's a little bit too much? Well, it's not like you can answer me right now, but this is what it's looking like now. And, I mean, again, it's not that tall. And I think I've used about half a skein. Half of the skein that I had. So, if I keep going, I don't know. Well, I just wanted to show you the progress, and this is what it will look like with the other one. So it is a little bit taller, right? And I really do like the way it's coming out. But I'm also thinking that it might, you know, maybe doing the white and the red in between might also break up, you know, the, because it actually looks a little bit brighter on the screen than it does. Even though it does look bright, it's a little bit, it's not as bright as it's coming off on screen. I don't know why everything on screen, on my screen, always looks brighter. The red is not that bright. I don't know if the pink is what's making it brighter, but I think a whole bag like this might be too much. I don't know. And again, I don't really want to cut the yarn and start the white. And then if it doesn't look right, but I think this is like doing the whole bag like this might be a little much. I'm not sure. But I do know that I am going to at least finish this round, because I would like it to, if I am going to switch colors, I'm only counting from the half double crochets that I've done, which make the body, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on my 7th round of half double crochets. So I would really like to maybe get 8 rounds of half double crochets before I decide on whether or not I'm going to switch it and go into the white. And do the white with the red. And then go up another 8 rounds and then do, if I, you know, like switch back over to the pink. That might be an option, because this does look a little bit much. I don't know, but you know what? I know this will be done by the time you see the video, but I would love to know your opinion. So, you know, leave a comment down and let me know whether or not you think I should switch the white and the pink and do a section of that, and then switch back to the pink and the red, and then do the straps in the white and the red. I might like that. So I'm going to finish this line. I have been working for about an hour. Again, this is just taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, but that's okay. What I might do when I come back is just make the hat. And I will just feel so much better if I can do a project and have it done. Because it will only take me one sitting and, get that finished. And if the bag goes into tomorrow, I mean, at least, it'll still be included and I can close it out. I'm going to try and get it done today, though. And it's still, it's not late. It's not early either, but it's not late. It's like 6 o'clock or 6 something. Let me see. It's 6:39. So, I do need to take a little break. And again, this, because it's double-stranded, is taking me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. But I'm okay with that. I'm going to go take a break. And I'll let you know what the update is. Okay, guys. I did take a little bit of a break, but for some reason, I just wanted to work on this hat. Because even though I have done a lot of work on that bag, I just feel so unaccomplished. And I do need to go make me something to eat. But I wanted to see if I can work on this hat a little bit. I might not finish it. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Again, I just took a little bit of a break. And probably not as long as I should have, but that's okay. I wanted to really get this done. And, I was sitting here thinking that I normally do the same, ever since I made my fitted beanie and my slouch beanie in my granny stitch, right, the way I make it. I always use the same one, and it does have, the holes in it from the granny stitch. And even though, honestly, I don't feel the holes when I wear my hats, and also people that I've given hats to, or they all say that, the hats are very, very warm, even though they have holes in them, right? But I wanted to try and do something. They was still using the granny stitch, right? But have it be a little bit more closed. So I'm trying something new, and I figured that I would try it with this yarn, right? Because this is the yarn I repurposed, right? And I really don't like, using yarn that I've used before to put up on my website. So what I thought of doing right now was to, instead of making a regular beanie that I always make, because this one's going to be mine anyway, right? I can try and do a different style and see if I like the way that looks. And if it comes out looking really pretty and it's warm and it fits just like the other ones, then it might be a new pattern that I have for my hats. And I think it's going to look cute. I'm hoping that I'll have enough yarn. I think I will. But we're going to find out soon enough. So I'm just I did like the granny stitch, and now I'm just doing like a chain 3 and then going in, and I'm going to show you as soon as I get to the end of this round what it's kind of looking like. And I'm kind of liking it, but you can let me know down on the comments what you think of it. And then I'm going to finish working it up, and I will show you what it looks like. I'm going to go finish this up, or maybe go eat something, but I kind of feel better that I started it, and I'm looking good on the yarn front, so I think I will have enough to finish the whole thing. But yeah, this yarn was way too used for me to do anything with it, to like sell or anything like that, so I really wanted to use it for myself. And especially when it's like something that's for me, I like to try new things, and that's how I get new patterns to do and put up on my website. But that's what it's looking like right now, where you still have the granny stitch, right? But no holes, not really. You know, like, not like the granny stitch. And I'm really liking this. I don't know. Again, it's for some reason, it's too bright. I don't know why, but I think that that's going to look really, really cute. So I'm going to go keep working this up, and I'll show you when I'm done or almost done, or maybe give you an update on the yarn in a little bit and see how it goes from there. And, you know, give my hands a little bit of a break from that bag. And I think I did decide that I am going to maybe mix the white into the bag. Even if I might have enough of the pink, I still think that I want to mix the white and the red into the bag, because it's just, I don't know, a lot of that pink. And I think it'll look better if it's broken up with a little bit of the white and red, and then go back to the pink and red. And then, you know, maybe finish it off with a round of single crochet in the white and red, and then do the straps in white and red. I don't know. But yeah, I think I have decided that when I start on the bag again, I think what I might do is either 8 rounds of half double crochet or 10 rounds of half double crochet, and then switch it to the white. Or maybe like on the ninth round, I'll switch it to the white, because I do like that. Although a lot of people don't, I like that progression. And again, this is for me. So, but, you know, that change where in half the row, it's one, like I do my granny squares, or almost anything when I change colors. But I think that that might look a little bit better if I do that. So I'll let you know what happens. Hey guys, I finished the hat. I did it a little bit different this time, and I think I like it. You know, just to have another different style, and I like it. Now, you saw the ball of yarn that I had. I actually didn't use it all. I thought I wasn't going to have enough. Now, I was going to, I did make it a little bit longer, but I didn't like the way it looked. It would either have to be much longer or just fitted like this. The length that it gave, it just felt awkward. It wasn't enough to slouch, and it was, words escape me. It wasn't enough to slouch, and it was too big to be fitted. So It didn't look right, so I decided to just make it a fitted beanie, and I just gave it, what, 9 rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. Oh, sorry, I'm tired. 9 rounds, 1 round of double, and, 1 round of half double, and then 1 round of single. Like on my other hats, I normally, when it's like the regular granny stitch hats, I always finish it off with like 2 rounds of double, half double, and I keep saying double, 2 rounds of half double and 1 round of single. But for some reason, I did that and I didn't like the way it looked. It looked, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I just did 1 round of half doubles and 1 round of single. And I think it's maybe because like the way the clusters are in the other one, it just looks different. And I'm so sorry. This way, I think it looks nicer and cleaner like this. But I think I'm going to make a few more hats like this. I think I'm going to alternate between this style and my granny stitch style. But I made this in about, I don't know, I ripped it back a few times, so like towards the end when I was, trying to figure out the length. But I think this took me about maybe an hour and a half, between an hour and a half. The next time I make one, I'll time myself. But I like the way that looks. Let me know if you like the way that looks. Now, what I'm going to do is, this really isn't much, I can't do much with this. I do have to roll it up because I don't want it like that. But I believe I do have a bunch of 5-weight yarn, like scraps of 5-weight yarn in different colors. And I also have like a bunch of other 5-weight yarns that I got when I had my shopping spree. And when my friend took me yarn shopping, and I was able to get a few skeins. I think maybe like 6 or 7 skeins, maybe more. I don't know. But I did get a bunch of skeins of 5-weight yarn for hats. And when I make those hats, I will have yarn left over. And depending on how much yarn I have now, like I can, it's all different colors, I'm sure. This is pink, the other one is blue, I think. But I was thinking maybe like a scrap beanie. Because this is still quite a bit of yarn. And although I do make like, I've tried making cat ear beanies and the regular, cinched beanies. And I always want to keep a few of those, which I will be putting up stuff on my website. But I really, really, really like making these. And I think that that's what's going to be on my website for the most part. I will have some cat ear beanies, some regular cinched beanies, which is what I like to call them, where I just do, actually, I don't do a panel. I do it in the rounds. I make a chain and I connect it and I do it in the rounds. and then I cinch the top. I'm still going to make a few of those because I do like to wear those too the way I make them. And these. But, and what I mean by these is like the way I make them like this. And I like that I have another style instead of just the granny stitch, where this one is a little more closed. But I think it turned out pretty good. Now, I'm going to toss that over there. I did take a break from the bag. It is kind of late, but I'm still going to be working on the bag for a little while. And I think I said it earlier, I have decided my hands needed a break. I couldn't work on it. So I think I decided that I was going to go up to about, oh, I'm so tired. So about 10 rows, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the 7th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I don't know. I might go up to maybe 10 rounds. And then attach the white to the pink. I think I might do that on the 9th round, which is what I said. Like halfway through. I'm tired, y'all. And then do like a center of white and red. And then finish off the top with the pink and red. And then maybe do the straps in white and red. And that's the plan, right? Now, I know that Valentine's Day is almost over, but I will be working on this bag until it's finished. And it'll probably be tomorrow. So I'm going to go work on this, and I will catch up with you. If I remember, I will let you know the progress before I go to sleep. If not, I'll see y'all in the morning. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I just want to give you a little update. This is what this bag is looking like. Now, I'm going to end this video here. And then tomorrow I will be doing a reveal of all of the things that I've made for Valentine's Day. So this is what I got so far, and I like the way it's coming out. I'm almost done with the red and white. I'm just going to do, I think it's 3 more rounds. And then we're going to go back into the pink and red. But this is what it's looking like so far. And I think it looks so cute. You can leave an opinion down at the bottom of the screen. At the bottom of the screen. I'm tired. You can leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think. It is going to be a little bit higher with the white and red, and then I'm going to do the rest with the pink and red and finish off the top, and then do the straps in the white and the red, like that. And the straps will probably go, I'm not sure yet as to how I'm doing the straps, but I'm kind of, you know, leaning towards 2 straps, 1 on each side. And I will probably sew them onto like the section that's going to be like this section down here. But I'm going to wrap this video up here, and I will keep working on this, and then you'll see the wrap up in the next video. Okay, So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. I hope you enjoy my videos, and, just give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you can. Every little bit helps, especially since I'm trying to grow my channel. And I'll give you a wrap up on everything I've made for Valentine's Day in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.